detail.
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Keating,
Here.
Snellings,
Present.
Reinhardt,
Present.
Schrader,
Present.
Throm,
Here.
Warren,
Present.
Beichman,
Present.
Ferris.
Present.
Quorum is present.
Thank you. First up, we have approval of minutes from the regular meeting, June 8th.
Move to approve regular minutes, June 8th, 2026 as written.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Ado.
Thank you. Before we move into public comments, I did have a statement I would like to read. If you'll all bear with me, it's a little long-winded, but I think worth it.
Did you add it to the agenda?
I haven't. I'm just doing it. How do you like that? We've had a lot of tragedy in this town of late. I know I was out of town for an event and a wedding on this weekend. Wasn't able to attend the vigil down here that was held at Pony Park, but I think a statement is appropriate at this time. And I also would ask for permission to do a proclamation, to draft one for the next council meeting. But for the time being, I apologize this isn't on the agenda, but it's, kind of a timely thing, so I thought it was appropriate to bring it forward all the same. The loss of a young life has left us heartbroken, searching for answers, and struggling to understand a tragedy that has touched families, friends, classmates, teachers, neighbors, and all who call this community home. In moments like these, words often feel inadequate. Yet it is in these moments that words matter most because they remind us that none of us walks through grief alone. The word community comes from the idea of sharing life together. Community is more than a place on a map. It is a network of relationships, a promise that we belong to one another. It is an understanding that when one person hurts, we all feel impact. When one family grieves, we grieve alongside them. When one life is lost, the loss belongs not only to those closest to them, but to all of us. Tragedy has a way of revealing both our vulnerability and our strength. It reminds us that every person carries struggles that may not be visible to those around them. It reminds us that kindness matters, that conversation matters, that a simple act of compassion can have a lasting impact. As we mourn, we must also recognize that healing is not something we do alone. Healing happens in connection. It happens when neighbors check on neighbors, when friends reach out to friends, when families gather around one another, and when a community chooses love over isolation and understanding over judgment. Resilience is often described as the ability to recover from hardship. While resilience is important, our goal must be something even greater. Our goal must be growth. And growth happens when we allow grief to teach us how to love more deeply. It happens when loss inspires us to create safer spaces for honest conversations. It happens when we become more willing to ask difficult questions, to listen without trying to fix, and to remind one another that seeking help is an act of courage and not an act of weakness. The measure of a community is not whether it experiences hardship. Every community will face hardship and heartbreak. The measure of a community is how it responds to these challenges and in these times. We have the opportunity to respond with compassion and with empathy and in renewed commitment to one another. Together, we can build a culture where every person feels seen, valued, and connected. Together, we can create spaces where it is safe to talk about mental health, grief, loneliness, and struggle. Together, we can ensure that no one feels that they must carry their burdens alone. In the days, weeks, and months ahead, let us continue to support one another. Let us check in on our friends and our neighbors and our coworkers and our classmates and our loved ones. Let us make room for grief and also make room for hope. Because when a community grieves together, something powerful happens. We discover that sorrow shared becomes lighter to carry. We discover that healing grows in the presence of love. We discover that unity is not found in avoiding pain, but in walking through it together. Most importantly, we discover that light is not something reserved for a select few. It is something each of us can offer through kindness, compassion, understanding, and presence. We have the ability to become a light for someone else. The greatest tribute we can offer those who we have lost is to build a community where every person knows that they are valued and their voice is heard and that every life matters. Let us honor their memory not through our words, but through our actions. Let us choose to listen more closely, care more deeply, and love more courageously. May we honor those we have lost by choosing connection over isolation and compassion over indifference and hope over despair. Together, let us be the light our world needs more of. If you or someone you know is struggling, there is help. You can call or text 988 to reach a suicide and crisis lifeline 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We as a community need to reach out to one another and rely on one another and support one another. So please, be in connection with your neighbors and with your community. Don't be afraid to speak out. Don't be afraid to reach out. We are stronger when we support one another. And would it be okay with the council if there was a proclamation drafted for the next council meeting?
Yes, most definitely.
And I also want to give credit that this was not wholeheartedly only written by me, but by others who in this community care and have these thoughts as well. So please do keep everyone in your thoughts and prayers, and all these families and those suffering. And let's try to turn things around and try to make for a more positive second half of 2026. And that's all I had on that. So, public comments. If anyone would like to come forward at this time and speak to a maximum of 5 minutes, if you're not already on the agenda, please give your name, address, and ward. Seeing none, we will move into Marysville Library Report. Mandy Cook.
Good evening, council. It's nice to be here. Nice to see you all. I thank you for those words, Todd. Sorry. We have a great summer going on at the library. There's a lot in your letter, in the letter that I sent to you, and it's also in the paper, on One Marysville website, on KNDY, on our Facebook and our website. So please make sure that people who are watching online, if you're interested, go ahead and go there to take a look. But I wanted to share a couple of highlights of the things that I'm most excited about, and just a few more pieces of information. We have a Science Meets book club. I might have mentioned this last time, but I'm really excited about it because we're having James Landau from Marysville High School be our science expert. And I just think that that's super cool. I love doing any type of partnerships or things like that. Ashley Landau, his wife, is one of our volunteers, and she's amazing. And so I coerced him, no, not really, I asked him if he would help us out as our science expert, and he happily said yes. And so if you're interested, if you loved the books, or love the movies, maybe come and pick up one of the books too, because it's a really good book. And I'm actually taking another one home because my husband stole the copy that I had already taken home, so I'm bringing one for me now. We also, on July 3rd, we're going to be open from 10 to 2, and we're having a patriotic pop-up party. If you like to sing patriotic songs, come and join your voices with us as we celebrate America on the 3rd of July at 1 p.m. Also some crafts and maybe a cookie. We are also doing a book edge spraying. I don't know if you all have seen these really cool book edges that have like the cutout looking sprays on them. We're doing that at the library, so if you're interested, make sure you let us know. Aside from that, a couple of other things that aren't in your letter, or just additional pieces of information about the things in your letter. We, for the summer food distribution program, we've been serving about an average of 70 kids a week, which we are super excited about. The first one was a little bigger, and then it's kind of diminished since then. But kids are very excited that we're serving them meals, and it's just always so cool to see them come in and get their milks and their meals. So if you have kids in your life, or if you know kids down the block, send them down. The kids have to come. Be there in person, unless the parents or guardian signs a proxy form, but the kids have to be there while they're signing that. So from ages 1 to 18, no income restrictions at all. On Wednesday, we have our board meeting, and then after that board meeting, we're continuing our strategic plan. So I've talked to you about that a couple different times. This is the next step, and then hopefully after that, we'll be able to put all the information that we got over the last 6 months together into a big strategic plan goal sheet, program, what we're going to be looking ahead. So ahead in the next 3 to 5 years. So we're really excited about that. And then the last thing that I just wanted to share with you is July 16th. We are finishing up our doc grant classes. I don't know if you happen to remember that. It's been a couple years now since we got that doc grant. We have been doing fundamental computer classes, but we're finishing up with an advanced computer class with Blue Valley Communications. It's going to be from albums to the cloud, storing and backing up your family memories. So I don't know about you, but when I pull up my phone and it says no more storage, I tend to have some problems with that. Danny from Blue Valley is going to be able to help us out with things like that. So are there any other things that I can bring to you next month, or any other questions that you have about what I presented to you tonight?
No, but you can tell Miss Lisa that her little things on Mondays interfere with camp.
I'm sorry, say that again? What?
Her things she's doing on Mondays?
Up at the school?
No, at the library?
Oh, yeah, the next, did you get to go?
I had a meeting here.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So when I read it, I was like, yes, and then it's like,
Yeah,
darn it.
yeah. Well, I will tell her that you're interested. You never
Yeah.
know, maybe she'll do it again. I know she's really enjoying the people who are able to come.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Mandy.
All right, next, we have no notices or hearings. We'll move into business and discussion. We have Mark Looper from Mark's E-Waste Recycling.
Good evening, council. Thank you for allowing me to present again. I was here, 6 months ago, and I did my initial presentation. As you know, I'm a free service for community e-waste drop-off for the community. And we've I sent out a couple things to you. We've had a pretty good turnout for over the last 6 months, and from the last meeting, you wanted to do a 6-month trial, so I'm back here to see if you want to continue on. And I want to thank the media for their shout out saying that put me on the radio and put me in the newspaper, and then Marshall County put me on their calendar, because it seems that's where everybody's hearing about me. Like I was saying before the meeting, I put out flyers, and we asked people, so how'd you hear about me? Did you see my flyers? No. We heard it on the radio, or read in the newspaper, so I was like, okay, well, thanks to the media, and then social media. But as you can see, we bring average a little over 1,000 pounds per visit at your location out here, which is good. Hopefully it grows. My last scheduled event I have right now is this Saturday. Hope to see a lot of people there this weekend. And then my biggest thing I want to is getting your approval to schedule the next 6 months, or continue on even beyond that. That's what I'm here to get your approval for tonight. And answer any questions you may have that you didn't ask before.
Mark, how many pounds out of that 5,580 pounds of gold and platinum and silver do you get out of it? I'm just kidding.
He doesn't want to tell you.
Well, I'm on the social media groups and TikTok, and everybody always asks that same question. And every electronics has different amounts. So and then the older is the golder is the same, right? And then, but the newer stuff is getting less and less in it. So, but anyways, speaking of old, I got called down to a place in Manhattan here a month or so ago, and it's pre-computer stuff. That's what that's about. But anyways, with your concurrence, I'll give it to Ms. Wassenberg, and I'll schedule the next 6 months.
Move to let Mark continue for another 6 months.
Second.
Okay, so moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
Is there any reason it needs to be limited to
I was gonna
6
say,
months?
do we,
That's why I don't think he needs to come back every 6
I don't
months.
think so.
I would say let's just make it permanent.
Did
That's
you
fine.
want
We
me,
have
did you want me to
industry.
provide you like a semi-annual report and how much I do? You know,
Not our business.
well, I mean, if you want to send an annual report, I mean, just for our information, that would be, I think, sufficient.
I think
Okay,
we
good.
I
appreciate
think
Numbers are-
it'd be more important to provide that to the community, to the media,
Okay.
to let people know what you're recycling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because, these numbers are just what, from the pickup sides, and it's not counting the stuff like when I pick up from businesses that they call me in, these are the numbers just from the pickup side, so.
By the looks of this, it just sounds like it's a valuable service you're offering, and I just don't think we need to limit it. Should just allow it.
The county's already asked me to provide them numbers as well, so.
Good.
'Cause I guess they're writing up some solid waste plan or something for the county, so I'm giving them the numbers as well. But I really wasn't tracking them until she called me up one day and says, can you give me some numbers? So I think,
I'm assuming you're including our numbers with the county.
yes, everything from Marshall
Okay,
County.
all right,
Everything,
thank you.
yeah. So, you know, it includes Blue Rapids, Waterville, Vermillion, and Frankfurt, all of them. So it includes all the numbers, so.
Okay.
Do you want to amend that motion
Yeah.
to be indefinite?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm amending motion to be indefinite.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded to grant ongoing permission to continue the e-waste recycling efforts.
Thank you. Can you give me some, you have contact information so I can give you the numbers?
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Ada.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
You don't have a time for Saturday yet, though?
Yeah, all my pickups are here are running from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
All right, moving on, we have July 4th fireworks request, 1 Marysville. Mr. Wayne Cruzy, would you like to come forward and answer any questions if there are any? I mean, you're here.
I can answer if you have any questions.
I would say that I love the 4th of July, but I will be gone. But I would make a motion to approve the request.
Second.
Okay, so moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Ada.
Thank you.
Sorry to make you get up, Wayne.
That's all right.
You look like you need a leg stretch.
Absolutely.
All right, moving on, we have the Broadway Lofts project, the water line extension request. Josh, you want to speak to this? I know some emails went out today on this.
Yeah, so Tyler approached the city about taking on a water line extension project that will help out the apartments that he is planning on putting in to the commercial buildings. When we had talked about it, there were a couple different suggestions. Of course, we already provide water, so we are already good at the moment as far as that goes, but it's on the north side of Broadway. In order to add the fire suppression line, which is a 4-inch line, he would then have to either bore across Broadway in some case, which will open Broadway, or trench Broadway in some case, which will close Broadway. Another option is for us to add a water line on 9th Street, a main, so that way we would create another loop within our system, so that way there's no stagnant water, which there isn't in that area at the moment. But it would create another loop, which is always helpful, but it would also bring it closer to where they are hoping to move the residential meters, as far as I understand it, in the back of the buildings. And then that would be the entrance of the fire suppression line as well. So that would just make it a whole lot closer. We would probably put it on the east side of the street. However, as I outlined in an email, development concerns, there's really not much more development that we see happening on the horizon in that area. So we would be spending a larger amount of money for one place of business. Third option would be adding a line from the Elm Street line up through the gravel north-south alley in the middle of that block. We could look at either boring that or trenching that, because it is gravel, it's not disrupting anything. Currently, the east-west alley is closed as well, so it's not like it's obstructing any traffic there. And then there is trash pickup.
Yeah, you
and
say we're using it.
yes, and otherwise, there's not a lot of traffic there. Otherwise, really, we could go back with a hard surface if we wanted to resurface that alley. The east-west is going to be concrete, and so if we wanted to look at more permanent options than the gravel, we could at that time, if we were trenching it. Really, there's different cost concerns with each one. Broadway option, there's no costs at all for us, but I don't know how much it would cost for them to bore across or trench that. 9th Street, because generally it's on the contractor, there could be no cost for us, or if we looked at cost sharing, that's a conversation in the future. But parts and boring, that's at least $40-ish thousand, but then also there's other costs that could bring it easily above 60, easily closer to 80 to 100, just for one block. I would have that for the north-south alley portion. So generally 3 options. There's other ways that you can make it work, but ultimately those are the 3 main options. We brought it here because I believe it's now time for council to have that conversation with Frontier Development Group about the way council would prefer it going. Either saying we already have a line there, you gotta put it in, or saying we prefer adding a line here, or we prefer a line going there. And then we can work on that other part later for the public-private investment.
So with option 3, would that give us any latitude if we had to tie in for the Kester House restaurant and museum long-term?
Based off of, I'll have to pull up
Would
the
that
map.
line be big enough that if we tried to pull a little water for the museum and the...
If we pulled it, if we ran off.
If we had to, or if we wanted to, because I don't see us developing the garden space unless it's a parking lot, sounds really
Right.
good to me.
But there,
Oh, people are gonna be mad at me now.
I could imagine a
Green space,
situation where
Jeff.
fire marshal might want us to put sprinkler systems in something like
Right.
the restaurants there.
So I guess the
currently-
question is if going through the alley, is it just what size line?
It'd be 8-inch. No matter which way we go, if we put a line in, it'd be 8-inch.
And that would be enough if we ever had to put a sprinkler system in the Kester House restaurant or...
Yeah,
Could support
Okay.
that as
easily,
well.
yes.
And do we know if
So-
we can tap into the very end of the line
Tap into the very end of one,
to prevent the stagnant water?
yeah.
You know?
Generally, we stub it out after that, so that way, if there are developments in any way that make us have to change the line, we're not rerouting somebody else's line for a service line for a bit. I'm not saying it couldn't be done that way, but I am saying that's how it's generally been done.
But the plumbing could be engineered in such a way to minimize the stagnant water.
I believe
I think you're gonna
so. We
have,
would
with 12 apartments, you're not gonna have a problem with stagnant water, in my opinion, but...
I don't think so either.
As you can see from the map that I emailed out to you guys, both the Kester Museum and the 908 Elm come off of 10th Street to their meter for their service line. So either project's not going to affect those as far as we can tell right now.
I mean, adding a loop where we don't need one and stopping traffic and digging up, you know, the street when we have access to the alley, it's gonna, you know, minimize the cost, it's still gonna accomplish the goals that we need, and to Jeff's point, you know, alleviate concerns of fire suppression and stuff in other buildings that we own. I don't know, I think that would be my recommendation, is just to go up the alley.
And I would say, so the number you have on here, $20,000, that's to the taxpayer. That's not a cost share or just a general cost.
And that's just material and what we have calculated per foot for the bore. So that's not all inclusive at all. That is
Bore or
for
trench?
estimate. That was bore. Now, once we knew which way, we would look into both options.
Because it's a gravel alley. it'd be
Yes.
If it's
easier.
gravel, I mean, it's a whole lot cheaper to trench.
Yeah, I would think.
I wouldn't think the water line would be too deep there either, in that part of town.
3 foot.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
I guess I would say that, $20,000 this one time is a lot less exposure than what we've been paying for that block long-term. And it makes total sense in the world, so I would make a motion that we move forward with the option number 3 on the presented proposal for the water line, rerouting for the commercial Kester Block District.
And to clarify, because that's not in the agenda, that was the north-south alley.
Yes, the north-south alley, so the alley between the
Main dish.
or the restaurant
In the park,
and the park,
gravel alley.
the gravel alley.
Second.
Okay, so moved and seconded to move forward with the north-south alley line extension to service the Kester Block development. Is there any further discussion?
Is that trenching or boring? Is that clarified in there?
Whichever's cheaper.
That's kind of a given, I would say.
Okay.
It's whatever's cheaper.
Do we, before we vote on this, I know Tyler's here, do we maybe wanna hear if he has any
Sure,
reasons why we
Tyler, would
wanna
you
go
mind
with the other
coming
direction?
forward? I'm
Just
calling
wanna
everyone
give him the
forward
opportunity.
tonight, so.
Good evening, council. I appreciate the opportunity to come and speak with you. Josh did a great job covering the request tonight, and just a couple of things to quickly clarify. When we had looked at this initially, the plan was to bring the water service in from Broadway and to bore it to minimize disruption. And I'm not an expert with underground utilities, but both of the companies that had come out to look at this during the CDBG bid process determined that boring under Broadway was really not going to be feasible because of the amount of the size of the hole that you have to open on both sides. Enough brick was going to come out already. We were already going to enclose enough. So both companies included traffic control and rerouting, shutting down Broadway fully, which we determined was just not going to be feasible. So the only other way to get water to the building for a 4-inch fire riser, which is what's required for the sprinkler system, and a 2-inch, which is required for the commercial, was to come up 9th. We had initially thought about taking one of the commercial taps that services the building currently and retrofitting that and using that for a residential sprinkler, because I was trying to avoid to have to come here to ask you to make another improvement into the district. But we had PKMR do the load calculations, and not a single meter that's currently in that building can service the residential load. So we have to get a 4-inch line and a 2-inch line into the building for the fire service and for the residential service. Current plan is to leave the commercial taps alone. So what's tapped off of Broadway, then serving the existing buildings, those will remain. We'll repipe from the meter into the commercial level. And then we'll, again, get the 4-inch for the fire service and the 2-inch for the residential. I think what was discussed tonight makes a ton of sense. If it comes up the alley, you can trench up the alley rather than bore. That's going to more than likely save on cost. And then I think it was also mentioned that if there was ever fire suppression that was needed in the museum or the restaurant there, they would need a 4-inch more than likely to put a commercial system in, so they'd be able to tap right off the alley. So that's a very long-winded way of saying I think coming up the alley is the best case scenario.
Perfect.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
comments, Tyler.
Thanks, Tyler.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right, is there any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Ado.
Thank you. Next up, we have the Broadway Lofts project bids. Sorry to call you right
Come
back.
on up, Tyler. I should have stayed up here. So yes, you have a bid proposal from CES tonight. This is part of the CDBG bid process. The reason that the full thing, well, there's two reasons that the full request is not being approved tonight. One, we didn't know what was going to be decided with the water line, so there's some unknowns there that we'll work with the subcontractors on. But two, part of the CDBG, this is the second round of bidding that we've done. Part of it was over budget again, and so we have a $432,000 budget that we told the state. And when we applied, with your permission, or when the city of Marysville applied, we had to tell the state what we're going to spend, and that was a $432,000 budget. We've spent about $87,000 of that, and so those dollars are already gone, and so we're trying to fill the rest of the bucket, and we're trying to also get as much of the CDBG scope done as possible. It is impossible for us to get all of that scope done, so we're working with the state to revise the scope. The current hope is that we can have all of the infrastructure done, and with the vote that you just made on bringing the water lines to the building, that gets us a lot closer. So we will rebid now, we will revise, we'll have the contractors that are awarded tonight, if you vote to award them, we'll have them rebid based on the water line, the new water line location, which should help those costs come down some, and then we'll work with CES to post a new open bid to rebid the electrical. That's probably gonna fill the full budget. So we are gonna have to, as a private developer, that means we're gonna have to handle the roofs, and we're gonna have to handle all of the facade work, and we're gonna have to handle some of the other items that we had hoped to cover with the CDBG scope. We'll work with our grant consultant to get approval with the state to revise that scope before we come back to you to award the rest. But we wanted to award tonight because this is, we're actually on extension already. And if we didn't award tonight, we were gonna have to go another round of extension. So this is step one, and then we'll come back with step two after CES rebids the electrical. But happy to answer any questions that you do have. CES is suggesting moving forward, I think, with two different contractors. We have familiarity with both. Both are qualified to do the work, and we'll be able to accomplish what we need to get done with them.
When you said that these are recommended, were there more bids that came in? So you have to excuse me, I'm new to this whole process, I'm just asking questions,
Yep.
clarifying,
Nope,
find
great,
information out.
great questions. Yes, so I think we had 3, maybe 4 different vendors bid it. It was challenging to go through and reconcile because some contractors bid the whole entire scope, and some contractors broke it out based on, it's called a schedule of values that CES posted. So it has to be a closed bid, it has to be publicly posted, that's our CDBG requirement. So CES Group handled all of that for us. They posted it, it was posted in the paper. The bids, I think, were read here publicly. So it's a very sealed bid process. But then once that was opened, then we were able to engage with those contractors that bid it and figure out, you know, how each one had broken each part of the project down. And so we went through and we tried to compare, we tried to get everything apples to apples. And then we worked with CES once we had everything apples to apples to figure out who was the most competitively priced and able to handle the workload and within the budget that we needed to allocate. And so that's what you have before you tonight.
Okay, thank you for that clarification, Tyler, I appreciate that.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good question. So her question was, what is the existing conditions? That's, again, part of the apples to apples process. That was a line that was in their bid, but that's the infrastructure improvements is what that's called.
Move to approve the bids for the award of contracts to Larson Construction and DR Plumbing.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Vito?
Thank you.
Thanks, Tyler.
Thanks, Tyler.
All right, next up we have pool admission fee discussion.
Guys, sorry if I'm a little tired. It's been a long day, exciting day. You know, when we open this pool. What?
You need to get some sun.
I think so. When I met with you guys last week, we were debating whether we're gonna open or not. Ever since we have, pool hasn't leaked once. Did have Omaha out. We canceled Manhattan coming on deck with a lot of deep conversations. They don't think it's in our recirc lines, which if it was, that means we'd be losing a ton of water. So it's not in our recirc system. One thing, this team from Omaha, they are a nationally recognized leak detecting system for these big, large commercial pools. They are coming out the week after we close. August 22nd, I think, is our final weekend for the pool this summer, but they are coming out for 2 full days with scuba gear while the pool is full, and then with all of their stuff to go through every nook and cranny to hopefully figure out what is going on, why, it leaks and then it all of a sudden stops. It is 2014, I think, when the pool was built, so there's just a lot of old parts, I think, are sitting there, and we've done everything. I literally want to give a shout for one, Todd, thanks for reading that out loud. I know she was a big part of the MAC, and it just shows like what we can do and what those kids do for us all the time. And with that, like, I couldn't do this without having such just a phenomenal team, honestly. Like, we've seen some crazy big days, and I can guarantee part of that's not because of it's free. I think, last Friday we had 477 people in our pool. It was on a Wednesday. Last Friday, right after we opened, we had 360, and I thought that was a big day. That was one of the biggest days I've seen since running this pool. But on a Wednesday, all day, like on a random Wednesday, we had 477 people. I mean, those are big city numbers that we're putting up. We're seeing on the average of a couple hundred, minus these like slower days, which we've welcomed the break a little bit just because. But for one, I know we get a little pushback because we are so disciplined, but I couldn't do it without having such a disciplined team to carry a day like that, because it just feels seamless when we're out there and seeing so many people just because it's constantly busy. Today was first day of swimming lessons, although we just blended 2 sessions together for those 2 weeks. We ended up seeing 60 kids so far for our first day of swim lessons, for being the second summer we've offered it in a long time. So just so happy that, for one, the guards showing up to do it. I've had guards volunteer this morning that weren't even on the schedule to help lifeguard, but were willing just to step in and say, hey, I knew it was going to be a big day, and so here we are. I think we're settled with the pool staying full. I will tell you, our auto sensor has been on just a little whack too. Like, I've learned so much this summer already, but we've been just manually adding water when we have to, but that's just because it's extra bather load. It's evaporation. It's our normal water loss at this point. It's nothing like we were seeing that 6 inches to a foot of loss when we first started filling and circulating, and so I'm with everyone. I do think we need to charge a little just to kind of maybe bring those numbers down, but I know a lot of people are still shocked when they hear it's free so far, so I'm kind of just open to suggestions. I know one idea was charging regular admission, since that's lower anyway in the last year, maybe doing half price with pool passes, but that's open, and happy to answer any questions you guys have for me.
So is the staff able to handle the flow that we're having currently?
Like people-wise? Yes, yeah. I keep about 10 to 11 guards a day, plus having 2 to 3 admissions teams, and they've done phenomenal. I thank them every day. I mean, we're very tired by the end of the day, but I mean, it's just, they were so anxious, and that's another thing that I thank them, every day, for hanging on with me and Audrey, and to just give us time to get in there without losing any of one of our team members. They've all showed up, and I just was super, super grateful that they were able to, just constant messaging and just saying, hopefully one more day, and we finally got to that one more day, but we've seen like people were anxious, and now they're working. So, and even our new rookie staff has been phenomenal, just getting right in the mix and just acting like they're seasoned guards as they've been seasoned.
I'm just gonna make a statement, and then I'm probably gonna make a motion. I've actually thought a lot about this. We're so far into the summer already. We've had a lot of issues with the pool. Didn't get to open on time. We've had to make a lot of hard decisions as this council in the last couple of years, a lot of decisions that I didn't want to have to make. But I think the community needs to know that we listen, we have their backs, we understand the hardships. And with everything going on lately, I'm going to make a motion that we just keep it free for the rest of the season. The pool's not a big money maker, and I hate to do that to you guys.
It's okay. We're ready.
But I think there's a lot of reasons to keep it free as opposed to charging for it. So that's my motion.
I had a citizen say $1 a day for everybody, and I don't know if that's cheaper than a pool pass, or we've had rainy weather, so.
I know, right? That's I've been in our, and it doesn't look like a
every
pool
day.
week this week anyway. I mean, it was just right. We're fighting one thing, if not the next. But I mean, I'm good if we do either way. I just wanted to at least update you all where we're at, because I get a lot of pushback. I've seen it, obviously, on social media, but just, people being kind of a little hindrance that we opened with knowing that we're losing water, but I just want to reassure everyone that we are not losing crazy amounts of water, that it's sustaining and it's just our normal amount.
I guess my ask is if we're gonna have the group from Omaha come and do whatever they do in the fall when we shut down, we need to get a solid recommendation to them. Do we drain the whole thing completely, or do we leave some water pressure in there throughout the winter? So,
And I will have that written up. They verbalized already that we should be leaving water in our pool.
thank you.
So that was a verbal, like I said.
As far as the admission, yeah, you gotta be careful. You might open the Pandora's box, but it's been open for how long now, so who cares? And I'm sure people coming into our community visiting would appreciate the fact that, oh, just take the kids down there for a little bit. So I agree with you, Chris.
Is that a second, Jeff?
That is a second.
It's been moved and seconded to maintain free admission at the pool through the rest of the 2026 season. Is there any further discussion?
I just want to reiterate, I appreciate you guys. You guys have done a phenomenal job, especially with all the issues that you guys have had. I mean, the pool has done so well since you have taken over, and I just want to congratulate
Yes.
you and say it.
Thank you.
I know everybody here recognizes how much we appreciate you guys, the lifeguards, everybody coming together. I don't think we've ever had this many lifeguards at the pool. I mean, it's unreal. It's just a testament to how good you're doing. So,
Thank you.
You need them with all them kids there.
What was that?
I said, you need them with all them kids there.
Back in '93, that was a premier job in town.
Yeah.
Is there a capacity limit that can be let into the pool?
At one time,
Standing
it is,
room only,
like,
or what?
if you had everybody at one time, it's 400. Just because I'm a policy princess, I looked at that a few years ago. Because, I will tell you, I thought I met it last year at one time, because I think we had 200 people before our first break. And I thought that was a lot of people then. And I just told Wayne Cruzy, we usually see a daycare from Manhattan that comes up every summer, and they bring 80 to 90 kids with them, and that's a big day. But now we're just ready for it. It was like, bring it.
But you're
it's
doing
been
well on the refreshments, because I saw your.
Yeah, our concessions is.
Oh,
yes.
it's not free snacks.
No.
No, they don't want you there, Jeff.
And swim
Yes.
lessons and things like
Yes.
that still
Yeah.
charge the norm.
Yep, no, we've been well, and just, like I said, I think our team is now like 35 people. So just to be able to have that coverage. I got a little bit on the 4th of July when all the texts were coming in about asking, because it's a big deal this year, but we do have that covered as well, so even though it's shorter hours. The one thing I probably would ask, if it is free, maybe if we have lower patron loads, that we can make a decision a little sooner, maybe closing the pool a little earlier. Maybe if like 10 or less people. I know other pools kind of go that route. Kevin
Yeah,
could
I would-
attest the
I
other
would agree
night.
with
Yep.
That he was 3 people in the pool for like, I don't know how long I wasn't there that night, but
45 minutes.
yeah.
I think that's a judgment
We were
that you
the
make.
judge.
Perfect.
Yeah, we
Just wanna-
we can let you
Perfect,
judge that.
perfect.
All
I'll
right.
amend my motion to include that.
Okay. So though, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Ada.
Thanks, Courtney.
It's the
Thanks for all
shed
you do,
cabin.
Courtney.
Hey,
Courtney?
Courtney, while you're up here, do you want to remind people what the July 4th hours are?
1 to 6. And
to
our
6.
breaks are still going at 3 and 5. I know we're trialing that. It's working out really well. It seems like parents, guards, teams, stuff like that, so we'll probably still keep those. And we may take that 5 o'clock break out with that 6 o'clock closure, but we can determine that closer to the date. But
I
for sure, 1
know
to
this
6.
isn't your ballpark, but how's your shed coming? Your
It's stalled.
slope, okay.
I will say it's stalled, just because like we're open now, and
I bet it's hard.
it is a little harder for them to get in there, so. But
For those
It
of you-
looks nice.
yes.
For those of you that haven't been down there, they have repainted the inside. It is
Yes.
nice looking.
Our bathrooms, got the
Yep.
guard room
Yes.
painted. I ended up turning the office into a second guard room just because they needed more room. And I don't need an office there. But we're able to paint that, painted both the men's, women's, and the family bathroom. And just lots of compliments on how much brighter it is and just the feedback. But one thing we're gonna start looking into, Josh and I have talked about, is maybe having some local artists just come in and start just doing some murals on the inside walls, obviously not the outside, but.
The inside.
The
wall.
inside walls, just to make them more fun and more lively. And, you know, we have the base now for that, and I think it'll be really, really neat to have some local artists come in and help us out with that to take it even further.
All right. Yep. Great. Thank you, Courtney.
Awesome, thank you guys.
All right, last item under business and discussion is the water plant number 3 pump motor quote.
I have a question. Do we need to do this?
So this one, it is currently running without this pump. This is at the water plant on South 18th. It is currently running without it. However, the other pumps will get strained here soon. It has been a couple weeks since this came across our desk. So.
I would say again, if it has anything to do with bringing water to our faucets, we need to address that. So I would make a motion to approve the request to.
Second.
Questioning on this, are all 3 of these pumps the same?
I do not know that.
The reason I asked, if
Fix
we
it
can
up
replace
and-
it
yep.
with 1 or 2,
And we can look into that after.
let's see if it will work, get it fixed so we can.
Yes, most definitely. When we take the old pump out, it needs to be rebuilt and not
rebuilt.
spend
Back on the shelf.
And
a
have
year
it
and a
right
half,
there. Yeah,
2 years
Instead of
deciding to
working 1
do
and
it.
2
So.
too, I mean, we'll have 1 spare to fill 3 holes.
Always have a
Yeah.
spare on the shelf.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to move forward with the quote for the pump motor for water plant number 3. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Ado.
Thank you. Next up, we have the consent agenda.
Move to approve consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Next up, we have presentation of appropriations ordinance number 3875.
Move to approve appropriation ordinance 3875 in the amount of $327,668.08.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Roll call?
Keating,
Yes.
Snellings,
Yes.
Reinhardt,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Throm,
Yes.
Warren,
Yes.
Beichman,
Yes.
Ferris,
Yes.
Ado.
Thank you. Next up, we have the city administrator report. Josh?
Yeah, so I just have a couple things. Our payroll clerk, Trina Morris, just started today, so please feel free to come by and say hi.
Who was it?
Trina Morris.
Who is it?
Trina Morris.
Sorry.
One more time.
Yes, so she just started today. And so, like I said, please feel free to come by and say hi, introduce yourself. She's still, Carrie was out today, so she wasn't able to show her some of the stuff. And otherwise, she had some computer problems that were going on with that station. So we did what we could as far as showing her how to take utility bills and show her what all comes up during council meeting days. So. Otherwise, after the last meeting, city staff has started to really put together a couple proposals for the Dargis Park improvements. We hope to have a public input session over the next couple months. It probably won't be until maybe September, just based off of the time frame the companies need in order to build out those proposals, because they're taking it to their design teams to design first before bringing it back to us. Otherwise, the police department, the total cases that they have been taken in are significantly up this year from where they have been in past years, and in comparison to neighboring cities. So just be aware of that. Of course, continue to utilize your resources, calling 911 when needed and calling the non-emergency number when otherwise needed.
Did you say the number of cases have gone up?
They have
Yes.
more than the county right now.
So, do we know what type of cases there are? Do we get stats?
He does have the stats. I did not get them for this meeting, though.
You don't want to know.
Yeah. Otherwise, league meeting once again is October 8th through 10th. I do have a couple people down. I did forget to email, but feel free to either tell me after the meeting if you're planning on being able to go to that, or I will try to send an email out tomorrow for a reminder. And I believe that's all I had for now.
On the Dargits Park
Yes.
efforts, I know you said it's going to be a minute, but I definitely had some people asking me about that. Do we have kind of a plan of promoting in advance of that public information to make sure we maximize the number of people? Obviously the paper, obviously the radio, and maybe the newsletter, but short of knocking on doors, I think it'd be really great for us to get the word out as much as we can.
We'll put our heads together as far as how else to do it besides the traditional route.
Sure.
But then also, of course, I was thinking of trying to have multiple public input sessions in different locations.
That's a good idea.
Trying to figure out what that looks like and maybe tying it to events in some way. So we'll see.
And the school will be going by then, so I don't know if
Yes.
it's something where maybe we can utilize
Go in during
that as
school.
a funnel to get that word out. Maybe the new YAC can help with that as well, so.
Yes.
I think too, like some simple banners that you put on a couple fence posts along Dargits Park, please reach out to us. You know, you go to Identities, you buy them for next to nothing.
Yeah,
I think that's a good idea.
You
Now
know,
that we've
everybody's
stopped-
driving up and down that street, they're picking up their kids, please show up and talk to, these events or whatever they are.
Public information
Yeah.
meeting.
And even stopping at 5 o'clock when the parents are getting them from all those daycares that go there at 5.
If we could, I mean, that sounds like, that's
That's
just a good
actually a
idea.
pretty good idea right there, that you set up, you know, at pickup time.
At pickup time, because that's where they all pick them up.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Josh. Next, we have the standing committee reports. First, we have the Water and Sewer Committee.
We met the other night, 5:30, we talked about cammering the storm sewer from the 9th to 7th. And
Last update I had on that was the company was not gonna be able to come up until mid to late July. However, I did just get another update. It might be a shorter time frame for one that we were waiting on a response from. So, we're of course gonna go ahead and get in go ahead and keep those conversations going and try to get that as soon as we can.
So we can rent a camera and,
It depends on the type that you're going for, it's gotta be actual commercial size, it's gotta be actually meant for that system, yes, and that's where those nuances come in as far as finding them. So,
noise we're talking about, Will?
I will be following up with the administrator and Kevin, and the other committee members. I did get several quotes for options to rent and then apply the rent towards purchase, and they're really not that scary, and these are commercial grade things that, are sized to do what we need to do. So it's, I will share that and we'll talk about it in the next committee meeting.
we did leave some sandbags up there for some of the renters over the weekend, so they could get sandbags if needed. Because we knew rain was in the forecast, so they could put by their back door and by the garage door up there to keep the water from going in their properties.
I don't think we got quite as much rain as we thought we might,
we didn't.
thankfully.
Thank God.
Yeah.
But it's also supposed to rain the next 7 days.
Did
Keep coming.
it overflow, Lori?
I have no idea.
You were gone.
Like, I had a freaking out dog, so I didn't go
Okay,
upstairs.
I didn't know if you
but-
could see it run through your backyard or not. I know it was only an inch, but.
It still came hard.
And then we, talked about landlords, wanting to turn water on to clean up the facility after somebody moved out, the daily charge and stuff. Josh was gonna look that up and.
Yep, and we have started to collect those bills. I don't think the list has been finalized, but we'll be sending those out to the committee members, so.
No.
That was it.
That's it. Thanks, Kevin. Then we have a street committee meeting immediately preceding this one.
It was a pretty cut and dry meeting. We just wanted to see where we're at with the two proposals that the council requested. The feedback that we got, that we're still in progress with getting those, requests for quote, requests for qualifications, proposal, whatever out. We discussed the 600 block of Broadway. It'd be in front of CES, our our One Marysville, the health department, there's a spot where it's an obvious spot where it's settled. And the fact that we just need to figure out a way to pull the bricks up, fix the settling part and put the bricks back down. Please, and it was, request was please no cold mix. You know, because that is a nice looking stretch of the road, so we need to fix it right. And then we had a discussion, a candid discussion with the city staff and the street supervisor on maybe some expectations that we have after reviewing the amount of concrete that we purchased over the last 3 years yearly. So that was about, it was more just get together and keep the conversation going. Nothing, definitely nothing we're gonna bring to council with any recommendations, but, so, that's it.
Okay. We have no appointments or wage determinations tonight. We are working on finalizing the next year's YAC. So I don't know if it'll be probably the next council meeting, you'll have that to approve, hopefully. We have no city attorney this evening. Does anyone see need for executive session?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I move the city council recess into executive session for consultation with an attorney on matters deemed privileged in an attorney-client relationship about litigation or claims against the city to KSA 754319B2. This meeting will include the mayor, city council, city administrator, and Will. The open meeting will resume in the city council chambers at 8:10?
If you don't have an attorney.
Yeah, I don't know how you could do that.
But we can call the attorney. without
Yes.
already-
Yeah, we can call them on the phone.
And we have a letter from the attorney, I'm pretty sure that we have in there too.
Yeah, we're
So add the city
discussing.
attorney.
Need 10 minutes.
Yeah, just like 10 minutes.
Yeah, you need to include the attorney on
And
that
the
call.
city attorney, yep.
Okay. Is that a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
It's moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
The attorney needs to be present for the entire session.
Okay, I know,
Before you
that's
start
why
talking.
we might not get very far.
you. Thank you. Thank you. I love you. Okay. Thank you.
open session. Does anyone see need for an executive session?
Yes. I move the city council recess in executive session to discuss personnel matters and non-elected personnel, discussion on specific personnel matters, not general personnel policies, exception KSA 75-4319B1. This session will include the mayor and city council members. We will resume at 8:20.
Second.
Okay, it's moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
I'm going to recuse myself of this conversation.
Okay. Any further conversation? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
8-0.
Okay, we now return to open session from executive session where no binding decisions were made. Does anyone have or see need for a further executive session this evening? Seeing none, we will move into council comments. Jeff?
I would really like to say thank you to Todd for his comments at the beginning of this meeting regarding the mental health thing. I have, both personally and with associates of mine, dealt with situations like this, and it is something that really our country lacks in addressing, and anything we can do to help support situations like this, or maybe try to approach them before these kind of situations happen. I've personally lost somebody in this realm, so thank you, Todd. That's all I got.
Lori?
Just a reminder, fireworks can get set off on Saturday. Check the hours for the days. That's all I got.
You got it. Thanks. Michelle?
I reiterate what Jeff said, and then the other thing I was wondering is, how's your flag coming?
Oh, yeah, it's the work in progress. That actually crossed my radar again today. We did not get as many submissions as I would have liked, but I'm working on getting them kind of polished to a selection that I can bring, hopefully yet, I'd like to do it in July, so.
Okay.
TBD. Stay tuned.
Just curious.
Absolutely. Chris?
July 1st, before the 250th?
Yeah.
Well, it's unrelated to that, so July 27th?
Yeah, okay.
You never say the year.
That's right.
Couple things, just to reiterate everyone else. Todd, thank you for your statement. Being in the military, I deal with this as well. Maybe not the same things make it happen, but it's still a very big thing. People feel, no matter who they are, you know, we're all important, we all matter, and it takes a lot of courage to sometimes step out of your comfort zone and stick up for someone, even though it's hard to do. I just think we all need to revisit or look at ourselves a little bit more and realize that all of us are important. It doesn't matter who you are, how much money you make, what clothes you wear, what car you drive. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is that we're all here, and we need to be conscientious about how we talk to people, treat people. All those things are very important. I know it's social media and things make it a lot harder. You know, things on social media make everybody, not even just kids, feel like they have to be a certain way in order to be important or whatever. So, yeah, just thanks, Todd, for your statement. But I would just challenge everyone in the community and surrounding communities that just think about what you say, when you say it, how you say it, and no matter how happy someone is or how much they're smiling, doesn't always mean that's happening on the inside. So for me and my family, I know probably from everyone here, our hearts and prayers go out to all the families suffering from this tragedy. A couple other things. We talked about the nepotism clause a while back. I think maybe admin and finance. I don't know what committee would discuss that, but I think we probably need to get going on that as well, just so we don't find ourselves in any other situations there. The street committee, Jeff, you were saying something about the bricks. I would also recommend that the street committee talk about the bricks in front of like identities.
Yeah.
I gotta go about 1 mile an hour, my truck's bouncing over the roof.
That's a big beast to bite, so, but yes, it's on the radar.
You know, have a discussion about it. So I've gotten a few calls on it, and, you know, I agree. Another thing, I think a lot of cities are doing it. These data centers are coming around and causing a lot of issues. They take up a lot of resources and things, so in my opinion, I don't know if it needs a motion or what, but I think we should, you know, do a moratorium against those as a city, and I'm gonna be calling county commissioners too and see if they can also do one as well. But I think it's important. I don't know what the process is for that, but
I think it's definitely something that we can can work with the county commission on. I think it makes a lot of sense for us to do that in conjunction with them.
Yes, it's more important that the county put some teeth in it.
Because
than
otherwise they'll
just-
put it out on the edge of city limits and.
Yeah.
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 But at least the city would show, hey, we're against this too, so.
Agreed.
All right, I think that's it. That's everybody, 4th of July is coming up. Be safe, don't light fireworks in your hand, because most of the time it doesn't work out very well. Follow the rules, please. I know we extended a couple days, and the hours have been changed a little bit too, so let's be conscientious about everybody's pets and feelings and sleep and everything, because there's also people who need to work too, so, and get some sleep, so. Just be conscientious on that fact, but still have fun, because, hey, it's America's 250th birthday. I mean, America's a great place. That's all I have.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Kevin?
Nothing tonight, sir.
Really?
Nope.
Rare and beautiful event.
Thank
Ty?
Nothing as well?
Okay. Keith?
I'm looking through the expenses that, there always, seems like we're always buying chainsaw chains instead of sharpening. And I brought this up a couple years ago. If we buy the tool that actually sharpens the chains, we wouldn't have to always go buy chains. So, something to look into.
There's people locally that'll sharpen them for a
I've used
lot
the
less
Sharpie.
money than what you would
I was
realize.
gonna say, this might be kind of like a pump motor where we get a cycle and we have them sharpened and we always have an extra one around. It's probably faster too, because you just got one
a
sitting
tool,
there.
you just, like a chop saw, you just come down and
And move it.
Move it.
Yeah.
My dad used to do it all the time for people.
That's something we can explore, Josh.
Yeah, they even have chainsaw sharpeners you can put on the end of the blade. You start it, and you just press it into the ground, and it sharpens it. You don't even have to take it off chainsaw anymore.
There's a lot of people around town that do a very good job for a
Yes, there
very
are.
But
small amount of money.
Yeah.
And with those kind of machines, and so that's the route I would look into.
But regardless, it's probably cheaper, one way or the other.
Very good
cheaper
point,
than
though.
buying. Good call.
that's all I got.
All right, great.
I don't have anything, but thank you for your speech earlier.
Absolutely, you're welcome. Just had a couple things. First, we need to set an admin finance committee meeting to do the city administrator review, second round discussion. Probably can add the nepotism policy to the call for that meeting as well, if that works. So if you could work on getting that set up. If we wanted to formally reach out to the county commissioners about, we'll say anything, but specific to the data center conversation, I don't know if it's something they're already discussing or not. Do we, I mean, they're not? Okay, you would know, you've been there.
Could we make that an initiative of the Partnership for Growth
Oh, absolutely.
and let them drive that?
If somebody could
that
pass
train?
that on to the Partnership for Growth
Yeah.
board, could you work on that?
Yeah,
right.
I'll talk to the director and the president, and
Fantastic.
we'll go from there. But I think that's who should drive that
That makes complete
ship.
sense to me.
Because then they can reach out to all the committees, or all the communities, get consensus and approach the county and say, here's where we're at.
Yeah.
I agree with it because it is a resource drainer.
Big time.
It's not quite like putting up wind towers, but it is a resource drainer when it comes to water.
Yeah.
And Kansas has enough of a problem with water,
Right.
so.
Also, I hope everyone, fathers, or de facto fathers had a good Father's Day. Somebody pointed out to me it's the 20th most observed holiday in the US, which is complete BS. So I wanted to go on the record here to say that fathers deserve that credit. We need to be in the top 10. Let's work on that. And yes, happy Independence Day to everyone. Hope you come out to the city celebrations or celebrate with your family. Hopefully we have clear and beautiful weather to celebrate with barbecues and safe fireworks. And that's all I had.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
8-0.
We are adjourned.